Hello everybody, Chris Wood here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in, anybody that may. October 24th, 2022. And I am just doing this to show my identity theft. My identity change is done. Just hanging out here with my dog who's having a little snooze. That there was a picture of my mother, the woman, LENNOX and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police had Blair Hardy and Billy Wooldridge murder. That is Blair Hardy. And that is Billy Wooldridge, now bald, glasses, goatee, lives at 149 Center Street North, and he is Hells Angels Ontario chapter leader. He is an inmate sex offender, a human trafficker, and my identity thief. Both are guilty of attempted murder on me, financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, kidnapping, sex assaults, lies, time buying, arrest refusals, except for on their victims, O.P.P, LENNOX and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, Spencer Mills, 14716, Staff Sergeants, ex-Chief, Robert Kane, Robert Lucas, Shannon CORK, mental health worker, and SHELLEY HAFFNER. Tyler Lake, Jay VANALSTINE, Blair Hardy, William Bill Wooldridge, once again 149 Center Street. Blair Hardy is BANDIDO MC leader, Ontario, and Billy Wooldridge is Hells Angels MC leader, Ontario chapter. Drug traffickers, human traffickers, pedophilia, sex slavery, financial thefts and frauds, murders, revenge, retaliation for me speaking of police crimes. As a result, I became a victim. This is how O.P.P traffic, they frame, and they murder here in NAPANEE with their co-offending doctors, Tatiana V., the ones that help aid in their crimes and cover-ups, Dr. Tatiana V., Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, triage nurse Terry, triage nurse Tanya, triage nurse David, and appellate and security guard. who's roughly about 500 pounds, approximately 24, 25 years old. Financial thefts and frauds, organized crime, hate crimes, identity thefts, kidnapping, false arrests is what O.P.P is about. The justice of the peace they have to protect them, to refuse arrest for them, to obstruct, make accusations on victims that they're hallucinating being sodomized. I don't fucking think so. And that was done to obstruct, falsely charged to buy time and keep me away from the hospital and keep me from help while this was taking place with me. To try to criminalize me, to give me in an attempt to give me a record, to deflect this and turn it around. I've been talking about this since 2019, since day one, that this was the outcome of this, and it is done. Conveniently, nobody is arrestable in NAPANEE because they have all their angles covered. The drug trafficking, the human trafficking, the homicides. They use Quincy Detention Center as a means to do it after they criminalize their victims to get away to they're using their lies, positions, badges, false guise of law. And in the process, because I spoke up to try to save lives against these pieces of shit scum, I'm going through identity theft. I am the last of my bloodline, I'm the end of my bloodline. My mother, this is all revenge, retaliation on me for speaking of the human homeless trafficking that was being committed here out of the place called the Morning Star Mission, and the homeless exploitation for monetary gain and other crimes that were happening here. As a result, I became a victim. I've been skull split, injured, tortured, kidnapped 24 hours after asking for help, May 27th, 2021. Through SHELLEY, HAFFNER, and incompetency, bullshit, lies, and that wasn't an attempt to shut me up. That wasn't an attempt to get me kept, so I would not be talking or showing what's taking place with me now. By whom, how, and why. LENNOX and ADDINGTON, Ontario Provincial Police, and the rest name, they turned homicide into a game here in NAPANEE. They turned homicide into a game, and they assured this against me. They took my medical rights, my legal rights, my human rights. My full right side is completely destroyed. It could all be medically proven. Lies against me stating I'm a self-harmer and suicidal, certainly not true in any way, shape, or form. You pieces of shit, and you need to prove that damn lie to get away. You're getting away with this. This is how you commit your fucking murders. Because of your positions, you just cast those little lies against your victims, and it's believed. Don't you? You chose the right fucking positions and jobs for that. The lies, the false guise of law. Doctors using their credentials, falsely charging to deflect crimes that you're guilty of, that doctors and police and everybody and others are guilty of, to get out of them because of the positions that they hold. Don't want to get out that doctors are aiding in very serious felony crimes here at Lennox and Addington Hospital and criminally negligently co-committing with them, murdering people, ending bloodlines for Hell's Angels and Bandidos for identity thefts, who are involved with them and own the doctor's name and the police as well. William Wooldridge and Blair Hardy are the ones that give the orders to the police here in NAPANEE, Ontario. So my skull has been deformed, seriously deformed. It's been flattened, it's been elongated, it's been shortened, it's been widened, and everything else. I am completely and totally numb from all the injuring. I get nothing but electricity. and I'm getting nothing but a bunch of pieces of shit who are using remote neural monitoring on me, broadcasting through me, in hopes to mentally numb me down, in hopes to mentally screw me up, in hopes that I am not talking about or showing this, in hopes that I cannot get to a lawyer to bring criminal civil lawsuits. I definitely cannot go to a hospital because Belleville General Hospital. I went there and there was a French guy working the one time after this started, and he told me, came in and said he was not going to do anything for me because he seen my file. So I got up and left, wasted trip, went to Kingston twice. One time they got a call stating I was on drugs. I do not do drugs. I am against them. Everybody knows me, knows I'm against them. I've lost too many friends and family, including myself overdosing from them, having a wake-up call, which I'm grateful for. So, and those lies need to be answered for, but they were believed because who they came from, and because I had long hair and my tattoos, then it was automatically believed. I'm having my mind swiped. I'm having my memories fucking taken from me while they're being burned out of my head by all these different people who are using the remote neural monitoring on me in hopes that I pick up their delusions, in hopes that I pick up their whatever the case may be. They're all a bunch of psychotic junkies and they're all untouchable. I can't go to a justice of the peace to get an arrest for any of them because she is involved. I went there the one day when she made her accusations on me, and she looked like she just got finished railing a big line of cocaine and smelled of whiskey at 10 o'clock in the morning. So, even with proof, she didn't even want to see any proof or nothing. So, done plain and simply because who it was done by and for to obstruct 100%. They got the doctors here to cover for them, and the cops to cover for the doctors, the cops to cover for themselves and each other and all the ones else involved, using the remote neural monitoring on people for invasive surveillance, putting prisoner tracking onto their victims, using Clearview AI on their victims for illegal purposes as well, falsely charging their victims to criminalize them to get pictures, prints, signatures, and everything else for forgeries, framings, and frauds that O.P.P commit here in NAPANEE with Blair Hardy and William Wooldridge, Tyler Lake, VANALSTINE, Ray, Sam, Shelley Barshett, Bert Hustler, Maggie Falls, Robert Berry, aka Bucktooth Bob. He's bald, has glasses, crowbar mustache, walks around with a bag of drugs. There's Curtis, there's Isaac, there's a woman that lives on the corner of Center Street and Bridge, or Center Street and Thomas, here in Napanee. It is a crack shack. That is where a lot of these bastards hang out that use this on me. There's Shelley Barshett, there's a Kim on Water Street, there's a Brandy on Water Street here in Napanee. They all work with and for O.P.P and are all drug traffickers and guilty of using this on me. There's Michelle and Ellie Cooper. There's an Isaac. And there is others. They even use this shit to sleep with me at night. So this is how bad it is. This is how I'm going through my identity theft. This is how I'm being deformed from all these different bastards using this and broadcasting through me. My right side of my body has been completely destroyed. It's been split. Luckily, I cannot go to a hospital because, like I said, all I get is I seen your file, I seen your falsified file. And I can be proven for the simple fact is I had not been to a hospital or a doctor in any way, shape, or form in approximately 7 to 10 years. and then after I get shot in the ear by the ex-O.P.P, by him and somebody in a black truck, and I go to get CAT scans done, and STACEY shows up there talking to Tatiana V, her girlfriend, and then me getting medically blacklisted after that. How too convenient. And that's exactly what happened. They gave me false copies of my CAT scans from November 19th, 2019, and O.P.P had the original ones given to them by Tatiana through STACEY, and I will not be proven wrong. So yes, beware, Lennox and Addington County General Hospital, they give fake to screw over patients. They start falsified files on patients. Tatiana V, aka Margie V, obviously gives fake names, has two of them. So, Dr. Waldron calling people retarded, saying people are crazy and you can't fix that, belittling people, talking down to them, going there with a swollen head that looks like a mushroom and being told that I needed a head shrink, pun intended, or that my hat fits and nothing is wrong, right? Dr. Sue, who looked like about a 15-year-old kid they sent in when I was there the one time, getting kicked out of the hospital for no reason by Paladin security for going in there to get help, which caused me serious problems with my lung and my kidneys that day. So I've not been able to get medical help. They've assured that they either would not see me, or they would have me kicked out, or they would have other people come in to discriminate against me, knowing that I would walk out, get fed up, and walk out from not getting help. And that's exactly what was taking place. And whether they try to say I was denying it, they are full of shit. I am not going to be treated like garbage by doctors and talked down to. I don't have to take that shit, and I wasn't taking it, so I was walking out. And they were trying to make it look like I was the problem, that I was the one refusing them. Not the case in any way, shape, or form. I've even had triage nurse Terry at one time at the hospital call me on to a fight. This is how much balls they got. This is the kind of hospital that Lennox and Addington Hospital is, and the ones that they employ. Outside doctors need to come in and criminally arrest and felony charge these doctors. They've been getting away with crimes by themselves, with themselves, and having it covered up through O.P.P and getting away with a lot here in NAPANEE and not having to answer for nothing. So therefore, they believe and think that they are above the law and that everybody should kiss their ass, assuming that everybody, because a person is on disability, that they are fucking stupid, that they don't have the IQ that possibly a doctor has, assuming that they are stupid. And that's exactly the mentality of the doctors at Lennox and Addington Hospital. You believe you are superior, and you believe that you do not have to answer for anything because, like I said, you got too used to getting away with shit. Dr. Barton laughing in my face over being sodomized because of me being a man, but because it was done by police and their boss, Wooldridge. And then Dr. Pritchard tried to have me committed for having it happen to me. Me having to be taken up to the hospital by ambulance and having serious problems. And, oh, what do you expect us to do for you today, Mr. Wood? Having to crawl out of the hospital almost and take a taxi home, not being helped. I believe I've had many strokes, many ones. I cannot gain weight because now when I eat, my food goes to the right side of my body, not my left to my stomach. It's been completely and totally mutilated, and it sure the hell is not for me because I'm no self-harmer. I love myself, and I'm certainly not suicidal. So you go fuck yourself, Tatiana, and that bullshit lies, STACEY, and everybody else. Lies against me, stating I have a long psychological record and history. I dare you to prove that because it's not true in any way, shape, or form. Lies against me, stating I have a long criminal record and history. I dare you to prove it because it's not true in any way, shape, or form. Regardless whether I have prisoner tracking on me from Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy, who you will not touch or arrest, all of this stuff could be proven. And like I said, if I now share DNA with any of these pieces of shit garbage, there will be fucking hell to pay whether you are police or not. This is no threat in any way, shape, or form. I will sue your motherfucking asses to kingdom come, and I will assure that you spend the rest of your natural lives in prison where you fucking belong, getting screwed up the ass where you deserve, because you are sex offenders that do the same to innocent people. You buy and sell children. You have sex with children. That's how O.P.P make it through the day. There is nothing that these cops here in NAPANEE do that is legal. Nothing they do here is legal. They've proven it over the course of 3 years. They are too corrupt. Families are murdered and missing. Check O.P.P, check the police, or depending on where you live, possibly RCMP even, because they human traffic as well. O.P.P are doing it here. This is the perfect spot to hub for it because it's perfect between Toronto and Ottawa. So this is a midway point through the 401, and that's exactly how it's happening. And a lot of the trafficking that happens is not necessarily how a lot of people may assume. There is many ways to be trafficked, sexually even as well. So it's not just the one perceived way, and it's not just females and girls, it happens to men as well. And age does not matter, or gender, when it comes to these kind of crimes. So I have remote neuro monitoring on me, which is invasive illegal surveillance as well. They see me doing this. This is how they're broadcasting over me and through me for my identity theft and to numb me down. It's a nano microchip implant that's designed, police and military tech, that's designed to destroy a person's central nervous system. And a destroyed central nervous system can lead to a lot of problems within a body. I have problems breathing now. I don't even feel like I'm really breathing that much on my own because I only have one lung. There's nothing I can do about it. So I got so much radiation and EMFs going through me all the time that my body completely goes dehydrated from all of this shit. I have absolutely no feeling anymore on the right side of my face or my head, except for that spot on the back of my head that I've shown many times. I no longer feel my own true consciousness anymore, so everybody's getting away with this mentally and physically on me. After 3 years, you're pretty much done. It's pretty much gotten away with O.P.P, doctors, and everybody else involved. This is how you get out of criminal and civil lawsuits as well. Committing identity thefts, refusing arrest, sitting on your balls, putting fucking surrounding your victims' hands on guns so they cannot get arrest or anything legal on you or anyone else. And I have video to prove it, so do not even try to deny it. Do not even try to deny that you have not done that, because I can prove you fucking wrong. Nothing you do in NAPANEE is legal. Nothing. And I have proven it. You have sex with children, so this is revenge retaliation on me. And the reason it is happening is because I spoke of police crimes and try to save lives. And like I said, you can't have it getting out that you're police going around selling victims, making your money through drug trafficking, through human trafficking, through financial thefts and frauds and exploitations, committing homicides for insurance policies on victims, Right, Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy. Spencer Mills is a serial killing cop. Spencer Mills, 14716. He is a serial killer cop. And the ones involved are organized criminals, Hells Angels, Bandidos. They became cops because they know that no matter what they do, they will get a slap on the wrist, they will get a paid vacation while they're so-called being investigated, and then only to be found out of no wrongdoing after 3 years of giving them payment from public money for fucking being killers. And that shit has to stop. It don't happen to the public, but it does for them. Yeah. And that's because they work for the crown. They work for the crown. That's no crown. They work for King Charles. Is who they work for, and that's why they get away. They work for the Attorney General here in Canada under King Charles, the now so-called King Charles. That's why people are seen as subjects through them. You're not seen as people. You're seen as a commodity. And obviously O.P.P know that, so they buy, sell humans like commodities and making a lot of money off of it. My bloodline is being ended because of these pieces of shit, so I can be framed and taken for fucking a sex offending goof. You think by changing your identity that it's not gonna make you any more of a loser, Wooldridge? Or Della Rosa, but whatever the fuck your name is? Thinking that you're me, thinking that we were switched at birth, thinking that you're Harry Potter? You are one screwed in the head piece of shit, son of a bitch. And you are lucky that O.P.P police will not touch you, cannot touch you, because you are Hells Angels Ontario leader, because you are their boss. You are the ones that give their orders to them. So therefore, you are very protected, and you know that along with VANALSTINE and LACGH and the rest. You got them pretty much by the curlies, the short and curlies, and they know it. The police that are still associated with Russell Williams, even though he's in prison, you're still friends with him and associated with him. Billy Wooldridge and Blair Hardy are too. Prove me wrong, you fucking scums, you're copycats. SHELLEY, HAFFNER, and STACEY, they're the next Karla Homolka. They're the ones that kidnap their victims, get their victims for others to murder. Treat them as play toys, using remote neuromonitoring to torture your victims, to record the tortures and everything else, broadcasting over the dark web. And I know exactly that's taking place. And you're making money off of it, O.P.P. You're making money off live snuff movies. And you're selling people for it. You are Satan worshippers. The doctors here involved that are helping, aiding, and cover your crimes are Freemasons. So, you are pure, true fucking scum. You're using your badges, positions, credentials. How fucking dare you do this to me? Not only did you murder my mother for your revenge, but you doing this and murdering a bloodline with pleasure. You're doing this with pleasure, O.P.P, and I will not be proven wrong. So anything happens to me, do not believe any bullshit stories. It is 100% murder. I've been talking about it, and I've been showing everything else to me for the past 3 years since this began. Whom, how, and why. So if anything mentally or physically happens to me, it is a result of me not being able to get any help, and it will be as a result for me not. It will be a result of murder, not suicide, not anything else, because I'm not suicidal. So do not let that fuck bullshit story be bought, because it will not be true. And neither will drugs, because I do not do them, and I do not live alone. If I was a self-harmer, I think there'd be serious signs of it. So, and I think if I was suicidal, you think I would tell anybody? I would just go ahead and do it. And no, I don't walk around saying I'm gonna hurt myself doing all this stuff. I'm not looking for sympathy. And that's exactly what that's about when people do that. They're looking for help. But if somebody is truly suicidal, they're just going to go ahead and do it and not say anything to anybody. So, bullshit lie. I don't even talk about it, nor would I even attempt it. You fucking scum. But because I had long hair, my tattoos, and who it was coming from, it was assumed to be true. Right, Stacy? Shelley HAFFNER trying to invade herself into my life while this was taking place before she got me kidnapped. Conveniently 24 hours after asking for help against them with arresting and charging. That was just too convenient. This is the Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police. You think you know. And I would advise anybody that if you have to go to the hospital here in NAPANEE and Lennox and Addington, if anybody sees this around here, I would advise you to call ahead first, emergency or not, and ask Paladin Security if it is okay, and find out what doctors are working, because if it's Pritchard, Barton, McGregor, Waldron, or an Ambimbola, or a Dr. Sue, or a Dr. Fardell, McGregor, Barton and Pritchard, Hadley and Tatiana V, or Margie V, get out of there as soon as possible if you possibly can. No joke. Get the hell out of that hospital if they are working as soon as you possibly can, because they will injure you. They will make your life a whole lot worse. And I would advise people that if possible to get in touch with Paladin Security at Lennox and Addington County General Hospital to make sure that they're going to allow people there. 613-354-3301. The phone number to Lennox and Addington County General Hospital. So I would advise you to phone and ask Paladin Security if it is okay. If you must go there, but if you do not have to, go elsewhere. And if you've not been to a hospital in a long time, beware, because they will falsify fucking files on you, right, Tatiana? Anyway, I just wanted to say after 3 years, this is pretty much done. And you are getting away with it, you sons of bitches. You've already changed my fucking identity. You've deformed my skull completely. You seriously fucked my head from all the electricity and all the other damages and deforming to me. You are nothing but cowards. O.P.P, Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police, families are murdered and missing. They are nothing but cowards, and they are the ones responsible. And anybody that's been charged by these people, I would seriously fight it, because it's not legal in any way, shape, or form unless you've actually been caught doing something. It will not be legal. Probably 90% of everybody in Quinny Detention Center is there being fucking trafficked through there through O.P.P. I wonder how many murders have been committed through the police in Quinny from them. How many people Spencer Mills has actually used that place for to traffic his victims, using his positions and the rest of them named to screw lives over for speaking of your crimes to get revenge, retaliation on them. This whole right side of my fucking face is completely swelled up. I no longer feel myself or my consciousness, only William Wooldridge and Blair Hardy most of the time broadcasting over me and through me. And if anybody wants to think this is a delusion, these are people that actually exist, so certainly no fucking delusion. Why would I be sitting here and I feel their presence around me in me like this. Okay, I'm not just gonna pick it up out of thin air. Well, Blair Hardy's broadcasting through me. No, it's because it's really happening to me. Sorry, but I'm not schizophrenic, and that has nothing to do with that in any way, shape, or form. I don't have hallucinations. I don't hear voices. I do not have any delusions thinking I'm somebody I'm not. I don't have multiple personalities. I am one person. I am Chris Wood, but I have many living and broadcasting through me criminally through remote neuromonitoring for this purpose of the identity theft, for this purpose of homicide. Perfect that they use a goof that thinks he's going to get an identity theft while O.P.P is committing homicide through him. Isn't that right? And this is why he's so untouchable, between the fact that he is the boss and Blair Hardy is also Spencer Mills's boyfriend. Yes, they all have sex together. They all like to suck each other's balls. They all like to have sex with men, commit sex offenses on men, ripping them open. That's a pleasurable day, isn't it, for your staff sergeants in Wooldridge? Is that before or after you get finished doing a big hit of fucking meth or shooting your heroin? You also sell fentanyl too. The reason people are overdosing in NAPANEE, the ones that are buying the drugs here and do that shit, is through Robert Kane, Spencer Mills 14716, through Blair Hardy, through Tyler Lake, through Jay VANALSTINE, and through Hardy and Wooldridge, Ray and Sam, and the woman on Center and Thomas Street side door, the crack shack, they all sell for them. That's where then down on Water Street, Kim and Brandy, and there's others there that deal for O.P.P as well. I don't know these people, but yet I'm picking up their fucking names and their faces and everything else off of me. How is that? So explain that one. I have a spot on the back of my head, it swells up. Conveniently had there since I've been shot by the ex-O.P.P chief that will not heal up for 3 years. So you got your murder. And yes, people can be mentally murdered, whether anybody realizes that or not. I'm Chris, but I'm having to fight to be me because of all of this. And like I said, it has nothing to do with mental illness or anything else or drugs. It's because of me being injured and brain-wise, body-wise, and not being able to get any help for 3 damn years, being tortured and mutilated. The lies, the time buying, the cover-ups, the medical treatment refusals, and more. So cops, you need to be charged for murders. You need to be charged for attempted murders. Doctors need to be charged for murders and attempted murders. Billy Wooldridge, Blair Hardy, Tyler Lake, Jay VANALSTINE need to be fucking charged for murders and attempted murders. Luckily, that can't happen because those kind of crimes are all legal here in NAPANEE, Ontario. And I've proven it. Anybody that wants to commit sex assaults, anybody that wants to buy, sell children, anybody that wants to commit homicides, you come to NAPANEE, you hook up with the police name or the doctors or Wooldridge or Hardy. Find them, I've shown their pictures. They will have you very protected and make sure that nothing happens to you. You'll be untouchable after that. So, and you will be able, and they will make it so the doctors will cover the crimes for you against your victims. That will be a guaranteed. And in that way, everybody will get away with what they're getting away with. 99% of all crimes in NAPANEE are through O.P.P from their little junkie inmate co-offenders. They're all making a lot of money passing the buck and the drugs around. Tyler Lake, you were nothing but filth fucking garbage. Your woman Holly is filth fucking garbage. She uses this on me too. Your mother Shelley uses this on me as well. And that fat little bastard that rides around on the BMX and mountain bike has the scruffy, he's fat and has meth scabs all over his face. He hangs out between Water Street. He's homeless. Used to sleep in the Royal Bank here. He uses it on me. There's Isaac. He is a seriously messed up piece of shit, and he actually wanted to live at my old address to me rent him a room. I don't think so. Excuse me. I would have been robbed blind, or he would have went completely nuts because he does that. So I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go try to find something to eat. But I just want to say that this is done. So O.P.P, Wooldridge, Hardy, Lake, Nalstein, Ray, Sam, and the rest all named. You're garbage. You are filth. You are O.P.P little bastards. And you are lucky that you are untouchable and arrestable, and that your crimes are legal here in NAPANEE, and I have proven it. And like I said, anything more happens to me mentally or physically, it will because of me not being able to get any help. Chris Wood, love all, hate none. Hit that like, share, subscribe, especially share because this is very serious and important. This is a matter of my life and death and my identity being changed by a goof that lives at 149 Center Street North and his little bandito bitch boy Blair Hardy, probably on Water Street or on Center and Thomas with an obese blonde-haired woman here in Napanee. I'm just another one of your victims. This is how you frame traffic murder. You're racist. You are committing domestic terrorism, hate crimes, ending bloodlines for your pleasure for framing. Congratulations, you pieces of shit. And Tyler Lake, VANALSTINE, and the rest. I have a right to defend my life by all means necessary. And if it comes to that point, I will defend my life against you by all means necessary. Know that much, you fucking punks. And Blair Hardy and VANALSTINE, or Blair Hardy and Wooldridge as well, at 149 Center Street North. I don't care how well knowledged you are in guns. I don't care how many others you have murdered. I'm putting you on notice right now. If I have to, I will defend my life and my bloodline, which you are trying to take at all cost. At all cost, I will defend my life and my bloodline. Know that much, motherfuckers.